transitioning into that, thank you for that spiral right there. Contact, having contact with legit store owners. What kind of movement did you hear them seeing in legit trading and purchasing?
So I don't know. To be honest, I don't think we've gotten a lot of feedback on how that's.
Mm,
We do know that the legit market has increased. Now, what portion of that is from us and what portion of that is from the release of Upland's collection? I don't know how that's correlating. But I believe that there was definitely some movement because we saw it in our Discord channels, of people posting and people needing legits. So we knew that was there. We hadn't seen that prior in the Upland main Discord of people trading a lot of legits back and forth.
okay.
Once we announced the league, that started happening a lot. I need Cleveland. I need a wide receiver. I need this. I need that. So we saw a lot of movement there prior to the Upland announcement on the collection. So I believe we have created some value in that sense as well, to get the movement working on legit transactions amongst the community. I think one of the things going in the future for us too is not even necessarily legit transactions, but finding a mechanism. I say the same thing about people coming into Upland, new players. It's hard unless they want to invest some money. It's hard for them to kind of get involved on a progress on a little bit larger scale. And so I think we want to look at that concept and how can we provide a function, whether it be like renting legits from people to where they can play with somebody. Maybe somebody doesn't want to be involved in the league. But they have a bunch of legits and they want to rent them versus spending 5, 10, 15, 25, 100,000 UPIX on a legit.
Yeah.
Can we find a way to rent legits or do something in a manner that people can play and enjoy at a lower cost, and provide some value for those people in, we're seeing it right now with people wanting more from the legit collections. We want, a passive income practically. Can we offer something through our mechanism and our platform that allows that? So we'll be looking at that for year two. Cool. Off season, people are going to be excited about off season. I think that off season is where people should, if they're not into football right now, they need to be in football when the off season comes, because I think they're going to really enjoy the mechanism we put in place for that.
All right, and so we're back with Bradley King. Let's get into the numbers of the players. Let's talk about your favorite games of the week. You got the floor, homie. What do you think?
All right, so I like to start off with players because that's what everybody cares about, right? Because everybody's playing. So, yeah, we don't have our points tabulated yet, so I'm not looking at those points when I talk about players but I do know who those were. One of the interesting things I'm going to tell you is don't count out those other positions. Your normal fantasy leagues that have your quarterbacks, tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, a defense. Some of them use defensive positions, but none of them ever have punters, and none of them have long snappers, and none of them use the offensive line. We do, and they're generating some points. So as the teams are picking up big yards, know that your offensive line is a function of those yardages that the team puts up. So when you have a team that puts up a ton of offensive yards, it's going to have a ton of production. You want to look at those players, get them in your lineup, especially if they're good, big, stout offensive line that protect the quarterback. The quarterback's not taking a bunch of sacks. Then look at those guys and don't count them out. But yeah, this last week, like I said, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, they were kind of leaders. Joe Burrow was in there pushing in close, and Marcus Mariota had a decent week. So I think that this last week was really good for quarterbacks. We also had some pretty big wide receiver point totals. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp had a great day. Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams was another one. Stephon Diggs, he led off. I think that was the Thursday night game.
Yeah,
and he kind of shocked us on our side of things because he was putting up some points that we don't normally see in normal fantasy leagues, and we started to actually question, oh my gosh, did we really mess up the point system here a little bit, because we made a few alterations than normal, but it worked out. He was on top in a lot of the other leagues too.
Okay,
and
good.
then And then if you go and you start to go down to your running backs, Saquon Barkley. I mean, what a game that guy had with the
I
Giants.
know, right?
Yeah, DeAndre Swift at Detroit was lighting it up, and Cordell Patterson there at Atlanta. So some really, really good guys, really good games. I will tell you, going into the next week though, it's going to look a little bit different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see some changes. So for all of you that are going to listen and you're looking for week 2 lineups, some things to take note of. Chris Goodwin, the Buccaneers wide receiver, left with a hamstring injury in the second quarter, didn't come back. Yep. He probably will be okay. I expect him to come out and say he's questionable for a couple of games. Mm-hmm. So I would watch him in your lineup, watch the transaction reports on him. The Giants wide receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson, he had a knee injury in his game. He's been dealing with a minor sprain for a while. And so he probably will not miss. I would put him as probable for next week. The Chargers wide receiver, Keenan Allen, he suffered a hamstring strain in his game. He'll probably return as well, but I'm guessing probably somewhere around week 4. So I don't know that I would put him in your lineup. Najee Harris, of course, that was a bad one. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Then you had Dak Prescott, right? Was it?
Dak. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, with his thumb. He's gonna be out for I think they said 6 to 8 weeks with surgery on that. So keep up with the I tell people, keep up with the injuries that have happened. Don't get caught in your lineup getting 0 points because you weren't watching an injury report. Look for the injury reports and keep up with those. And then, man, going into week 2, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's still going to be your guy. I mean, they play Tennessee this week.
Yeah.
And so that'll be a good game.
I did
Lamar Jackson.
I did slot him back into my my lineup for the Legits League. So Kyler Murray underperformed for me. So
yeah. And Kyler Murray, he did underperform. I think he's going to have a good week this week. He's going to probably be top 7, top 8 this week. Probably down in that 6, 7, 8 spot. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore plays Miami. That's going to be a really good game, and he's going to put up some points this week. And then Patrick Mahomes is going to do his thing every week. Jalen Hurts is. So I think Russell Wilson's another guy you can watch for. Joe Burrow had a good week, but this week, he's coming in and playing at Dallas. Dallas is going to be a tough place to play for him. So I'd kind of watch out on him. Look, Aaron Rodgers, everybody loves the master at Green Bay. But he's going to be playing against a really, really tough Chicago defense. So I would probably stay off of Aaron Rodgers. And Derek Carr may be the one that kind of surprises people a little bit. I think he's going to have a really good week. I don't know that he'll put up the points, but I think he's going to have a successful week. And a lot better than he had. So from a quarterback standpoint, those are kind of the guys I'd be looking at out there. From the wide receiver standpoint, Cooper Kupp's your guy. He's going to lead the week probably again. Justin Jefferson is another guy to watch for Minnesota. So
I like the idea that you mentioned earlier about not ignoring the line, because with being able to put an Aaron Donald in my lineup, unlike in fantasy football league, I don't have to scour the bottom of the barrel of kickers to try to slot in an extra 2 or 3 points if I'm lucky, more. Aaron Donald's a beast. He ended up with 10.5.
Right.
That's flex numbers.
Yeah, and you look at I'm trying to see here what that box score looked like for them. The Chiefs is 488 total yards.
Yeah.
So that's huge when you're getting 0.02 points per yard.
Yeah.
Not a lot of sacks, so you're not getting hit on that. So Yeah, those big games where you're going to get some high offensive production out of both the offense and or between your passing game and your running game. Those are really, really good times to really watch for those offensive linemen.
Yeah, that Packers game was fun, but it looked sloppy.
Yeah, it was. Let's see, their box four punts, right? So
yep,
had about 185 yards or so, if I'm calculating that right. And so when you get these guys that are putting 4, 5, 6 punts out in a game,
yeah,
those will start to add up really, really quick as well, because you're getting all those punting yards out of their punts. So yeah, looking and understanding who's going to be, how low scoring of a game it's going to be. Look for games. I tell people, look for games that are outdoor, when it's snowing, and when it's raining. If you want to put your punter in, your punter is going to get some yards. Yes. So one thing I was going to tell some people, if you're a San Francisco fan, just know with Elijah Mitchell out, look at Jeff Wilson is going to step in. Okay. So he'll be stepping in that running back role now with Mitchell out. So he's going to be a person that if you have him, he's probably, and you'll have to forgive me, I don't know everybody that's got legits, because there's some players that are legit, some that are not. But if you have a Jeff Wilson, he was probably worth very little UpX, but he's gonna be in a starting role now.
Nice.
Another one. Most people probably didn't play Carson Wentz. If you had him, he's a good guy to have. If you want to talk about people, anybody that played running back Mike Davis with the Ravens, you might as well drop him, get him out of your lineup. He fell in the depth chart like 3 places. So he got moved on the depth chart. Jalen Tolbert with the Cowboys, if you had him as a wide receiver, I think he'll be inactive. So main point I'm trying to make is use the resources out there to find out. The NFL.com site is a great site to keep up with transactions, injuries, things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think week 2 is going to, we might have seen some good performances in week 1 from players that we're going to not see this next week, and vice versa. So